Hey YouTube, Peterbilt Knife Guy, and today we're gonna be checking out an ESEE Izula. That is right. Peterbilt Knife Guy has another ESEE on the channel. If anybody's watched me for any period of time, you will know that I am a ESEE fanboy. I love ESEE. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. I purchased ESEE knives when ESEE started, putting knives out, and I've had the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the Jungless, but I've always wanted to try the Izula. And the thing was that the price kind of kept me from buying it, and then mainly I'm just not kind of a neck knifey kind of guy, even though it does come with this sweet little clip on here, which we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, just for the price, it just seemed like a lot of money for the knife, and that's what brings me to why it's on my channel. Shout out to Frank at What's the Point EDC. He generously loaned this to me so I could take a look at it because number one, he always knew that I wanted to check out an ESEE, and number two, I purchased this Watchman, which is like an ESEE Izula 2 knockoff. I don't know if it's a knockoff, but it's pretty damn close. But as you can see, very similar profiles, minus the fact that, this one has scales and this one has a paracord wrap. I think this was done by Edgeworks, somebody at Edgeworks. Frank will let me know in the comment. When he comments, I will pin it. So yeah, the ESEE Izula. It's a fire ant in Brazil, I believe. Could be wrong. Somebody in the comments will let me know. These things didn't come with scales. I do think you can purchase scales for it. It is a skeletonized knife. Everybody's seen these by now. If not, you should. They're meant to be like neck knives. They're small EDC fixed blade carry, throw in a tackle box or a survival kit, and you've got a good decent 1095 powder coated blade that these things have. ESEE does one thing right, and that is they do a lot of things right, but the one thing they do extremely right is their no BS transferable 100% lifetime warranty. I could literally snap this thing in a vise on purpose in camera, on film, and send it to them, and they will replace it, because that was what they did. Beat that buck. But yeah, so it's got a Rowan heat treat. I think Rowan's the manufacturing company. It's sold under ESEE. I don't know, there's some weird thing that goes on with that, but this is in Venom Green, I believe, and he put the orange paracord on there, and you can tell through dirty hands it's not a fresh wrap. It's been on there for a while, and you know what, surprisingly, for big hands like mine, it's rather comfortable. I haven't really used it, so I don't know yet. But another thing is Frankie is not a sharpener per se, but I'm gonna tell you what, he put a dang good edge on this. This has a really nice edge, Frank. Good job. Fantastic. Let's see if it'll cut a toilet paper too, with the booty meat on there too. It's kind of an unfair test because it's on a mat, but let's see if she just bites. Oh yeah, no problem at all. So good job, Frank. Did a good job on that sharpening. The sheath, I've always had a love-hate relationship with ESEE's sheaths. Back in the beginning of ESEE, they used to just do all Kydex sheaths, and then they moved to this kind of like molded plastic, and they're very functional, but I don't know. I just think they could do better, but it's an extremely functional sheath. You got a nice big hole right here, so you can neck knife this thing. Like I said, I'm not a neck knife guy, but this fact that it comes with this clip is pretty awesome, because you can throw this in your pocket, and or on your belt loop, and you just forget it's there, because this whole package is pretty dang light. This is the 1095 version, and ESEE does make an S35 VN version of this. It's either this one or the Izula 2. I'm not positive. somebody let me know. But I can imagine this biggest issue with this guy, it would be rust, especially if you're neck knifing it and you know you're in the swampy area, you got a swampy booty. it's gonna rust on you a little bit, and so that's why they typically coat their blades. ESEE, I don't think they know, the only ones I've seen that are non-coated are their stainless versions. It is what it is. You know, this coating that they use on here is fantastic for keeping the rust off, but it also does create a lot of drag when you're in wood. And ESEE is kind of like a survival woods knife kind of deal. So a lot of people strip these. I've stripped a couple of them, my ESEEs, and it just works. So what are we gonna do with this guy? Because this is Peterbilt Knife Guy's channel, and this is not a chopping knife. So what should we do? Do a little bit of light carving, because you know it's a small knife, but it should be able to make feather sticks. You know, I am the world's worst feather sticker. There's a couple other guys out there that are just as bad as me, but I'm gonna claim the title. So let's see if we can get any nice curls out of this. And my problem is I can't get the nice thin curls. These things are still kind of thick, but I imagine being dry they would take a spark. I suck. Let's try a different part. It has to do with my angle too. I know I'm using this damn stump here, but you know, there's a lot of factors that go into this, skill being one of them, and that's the main thing I don't possess. I'm gonna try some smaller. This stuff is I believe it's pine, so this might actually do better. Let's see if I can do it. Nope. I absolutely suck at feather sticking, but I can make wood shavings and make them all freaking day. You know, these are good little knives, but the problem is I keep dropping stuff. They're rather thick. I believe it's just about 1/8 of an inch, but it's, you know, for this size of knife, it's still pretty thick. But tell you what, it'll open the shit out of a package. Imagine that. What about some batoning? This is a piece of oak slat. I just kind of want to baton through it. You know, everybody poo-poos on ESEE for a lot of reasons. You either love ESEE or you hate ESEE. There's not too many people right in between, and it seems that a lot of people are mad that they just use 1095 and, you know, S35VN, but in all reality, 1095 is an excellent steel, even for the price, in my opinion. I think you're paying more for the name than the steel, and it just does well. I've always loved simple carbon steels, and a lot of people agree with me, and a lot of people disagree, and it just is what it is. I tend to like it. Let's baton this stick. You know what? Let's make some kindling. So you can, you know, take smaller pieces and break them down with a knife like this. No problem at all. Just not optimal, but I'm telling you what, if I was lost in the woods and this was my only knife, I would be damn happy to have it. So the ESEE Izula, what do I think? I think for me personally, I would probably go with the Izula 2 if it was the same size as this guy, just because my hand size is just, I need a little bit more knife to fill. And also too, even though the wrap job they did on here is a good wrap, I'm not a huge fan of handle wraps. I want scales. What's this thing good for, in my opinion? Honestly, anything you want it to be. You're not taking down big trees with it or anything like that, but I mean, you could probably try. You ain't gonna get very far. But I would say EDC, you pull this out in the middle of maybe with this color, not with this color combination, but you know, you pull this out to use it. It's not a super intimidating knife. It is rather small. I didn't even go through the specs. How stupid am I? Overall, you know, this thing is just a hair over 6 inches with a less than 3-inch blade. I think even then you can carry this thing concealed in some states where they have a fixed blade limit, because it's so small. And then your handle length, you're looking at like 3 1/4, and that's all the way to the end. Height of the blade's not very much. It's 1 inch at its thickest. It's just a good little knife. I wouldn't mind having one and throw it in an EDC pack or a survival bag or a bug out bag, just to know I have a good, decent, quality, American-made knife that's gonna get you out of whatever you're into. So yeah, anyways, check out Frank. Go subscribe to him. He's getting close to 5K subs here, and that's awesome. Good for you, dude. And yeah, thanks for watching.